Hey everybody, I think I'm here. Oh, I'm sorry, I always start to itch whenever I start. I forgot one thing. I'm going to look and see who's here. I'm Lucy, paperglitterglue.com, and this is my weekly live called Live with Lucy. And yes, you are correct, I am discombobulated today. I'm moving things around. I was trying, my friend Lynn got me these really cute earrings. They're little tiny houses. And I haven't worn earrings in so long I can't get it on. But anyway, I wanted to show her that I'm wearing these adorable earrings. And I will figure out how to get it into the left ear. Okay, now next. So today we're going to be making a little place card. Somebody asked for that, and I tried some other designs. I'll show you the failures at the end. And I finally came up with just a really, really simple one. And I also figured out a way to kind of zhuzh it up a little, make it a little fancier. So it's design number 202 in the Paper Glitter Glue library. It's free if you haven't already subscribed. If you haven't already, I'm sorry, I was laughing at something my brother says. He's funny, but it's kind of subtly funny. It takes a minute to get it. So that's what my delayed reaction was. And so if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, you get the newsletter and the passwords always in the newsletter. Sometimes it's kind of hidden way down at the bottom, but and in little letters. I need to figure that out so the letters are bigger. But anyway, you can get the password, but you also get my newsletter. And often I can be a little bit funny, and it's kind of interesting. Oh, there goes Luca again, rubbing on the on my computer. I don't know why he does that. Okay, I'm going to say hello to the people who are here, kind of the regulars. Let me see. I see usually Roseanne is here first. Rosa is here. Michelle. What's her name? Cheryl. Cheryl is here. Irene. Kathy. Kathy Drew. Paula. I'm reading the names. Joanne Weber. Martha. Paula. Jean. Delvine. Lots of people. So I always love to see you guys. And I appreciate your support, and I hope you have fun too. And then I try to remember to say hi to Bobby. She's not in the chat, but she likes to come. She thinks, it's kind of like, just sitting around with your friends, having a cup of coffee or something. So she enjoys it. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. Luca's rubbing against the other camera now. Lukey. Okay, so I'm getting the other camera ready. Normally I'm better, but I hurt my knee. I went to the doctor this morning, and they had changed my appointment, so I didn't even have an appointment, even though I went, and, it's like, okay. Alrighty, let me figure this out. So let me pull this in the way. I'm going to switch my computer if I can. Switch cameras. I'm trying to switch. There we go. And that tells me that I am not lined up correctly, which is not unusual. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so here's the place card. And like I said, it's very, very simple. And what's kind of unusual is you only need a few colors. I did a background color for the card, orange for the pumpkin, the overall background color. This is, I guess, the name tag, and then a little piece of green for the pumpkin stem. I think it makes it stand out better. And at first, I did not think that I had any. I'm moving this out of the way so I can see your comments. I enjoyed that part, and I learned things from you too. That's the important thing. I thought I didn't have any background colors that would make a good place card. And then I found this, and I'm like, Ooh, I think this will be a good festive background. And it looks good with the colors, so I did manage to find some background colors that would work for Thanksgiving. Most of my stuff is either Christmas, Halloween, or sort of springtime. So, okay, let me just show you. It's design number 202. There's one score line in the main piece, one score line. So you always have to convert that to score when you use your cutting machine. And then I cut out kind of the shape of the pumpkin so that it's easy to place, and there are two little slits to put your little name card in there. And then really, we can make this, you know, assuming I find glue, we can make this in, you know, like 1 minute. Oh, if you've got a different colored background, then you need a background color for your pumpkin, so it'll stand out. Okay, let's just make the really, really easy one. I'm just going to apply glue to the back. And the pumpkin, you know, a lot of my stuff is kind of asymmetrical. So you kind of have to match it up so that the sort of the humps match. I don't do symmetrical very well. I'm better at it, but there are tricks to do it in the design program that I use that I think people learn when they take real courses for design programs instead of just like teaching yourself what you need for that day. And so like making something symmetrical like a snowflake. I've made them before, but I'm not good at it. And then I always forget the lesson and I have to go back and take it again. Wait, I'm gonna set that aside. I forgot the little pumpkin stem. And let me make sure it curves the right way. And the pumpkin stem doesn't matter that much, but that's the way it goes. Just going to apply a little glue. Pumpkin stem kind of goes behind the pumpkin. So I'm going to put the stem down first. Apply the pumpkin. And the cutout is slightly larger than the pumpkin itself, so I just sort of center it in there. Really, we're done. And here's the card. Now, if you want to write the name with your machine, obviously you have to do that within your whatever design program you're using, Cricut Design Space if you're working with a Cricut. And just slide this in, and then it kind of flips under the pumpkin so the pumpkin holds it. And I thought of something where you can kind of, another way to make it a little fancier. And I'm going to do this on mine. 4 people are coming here for Thanksgiving. So I'm making 4 tags for everybody. But I thought about, you know, I keep a jar of little stained leaves. And so I'm just going to glue on some little fall leaves. I think that'll help make it a little more lively. And you can find these leaves. I do not know the design number, but Jackie and I had a fairy house challenge, I think probably 2 years ago. And we actually wrote a book. So if you want to buy the Fairy House Challenge book, where it has like, I don't know, 10, 15 bonus files. And it's in my shop, or in Jackie, A Cottage in the Forest shop. Cheryl. Could you modify it for a gift card? Are you saying, could you modify this size for, Cheryl, will you tell me? Do you mean, could you put a gift card in here? In other words, yes, I can. That's a good idea, because that's a very simple way to give a gift card. And the thing is, you can make a lot of them. In other words, if you had, I don't know, a Sunday school class or several teachers you wanted to give it to, yeah, I can modify it. I just have to make the cut basically on the pumpkin larger and maybe these a little wider. Actually, I'm going to ask my trusty assistant to look and grab a gift card from that little mirror where I keep my keys, that little drawer. There should be a gift card kind of sticking up because I was testing it for something else. So I know I have one. Back forward. It's for your hand was almost on it. I think that's it. Yeah. Yes. We're just testing the size. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. I think I kind of accidentally did the right width. So really all I have to do is make this cut a little deeper. So if you want, I can, actually I can just modify the file. If that's what you were asking, that's a good idea. Okay. That's a very good idea. Because when you have a design that's flexible, you know, it's just that much better. The other thing I can do is make this cutout just kind of a generic circle so that you could put any kind of figure on it. That's the other thing we could do. You know, you could just size a figure to fit on a circle here. I thought about that after I made it specific for the pumpkin. But, you know, I know you have many files of different shapes and figures that you really like. And it's just another way to use them. Okay, so there, he's a little fancier with the little leaves. And, you know, obviously you can put a lot more on. But I just wanted to show you. And now let's do this one, the pretty one. Okay, let's see. All I need is a stem. And because we're using the background, I'm going to glue the stem to the pumpkin background so it'll go on the card. Oh, that's a great idea. See, this is one reason I try to read the chat a little bit while I'm making things. And Courier, I don't know your real name, but anyway, she said I would put the gift card on the inside and let the name be on the outside. That is perfect, and that's very easy. All you do is, what did I do with the gift card? Here we go. All you would have to do is do like some little corners so you can do an insert. That is a great idea. Y'all are so smart. So, yeah, the leaves are in the, I think I called it Leafy Fairy House. It wasn't a very creative name. And it's actually one of my favorite fairy houses. But there are a lot of leaf patterns that you can use, and they're a good size. You can also use the big leaf pattern I have where I made an ombre leaf wreath, and you can just shrink those down. It's really the same leaves. Okay, apply my pumpkin. I'm sorry, I keep migrating out of the field. Okay, here we go. See, I think this one looks much fancier. I'm going to go ahead, let me see if I can do this. I think it's easier to have it in place before you glue the pumpkin on. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Amy asked if I have designs I don't like. Yes, I do. Some are just not as, when I look at them later, I realize I'm like, oh, I just don't like that. I'll give you, I am going to tell you an example because I'm going to fix it one of these days. Gus the Ghost House for the Spooktacular. The windows are too small and they don't have the impact I want them to have. See, isn't that one pretty? I like that. I like this design. So in my Spooktacular, I made a really, it's a neat house, but I just made the windows too small and I did not realize it until I, looked at the finished product. So it doesn't mean I don't like it, but I'm not as happy with it. Okay, that's it. Let me see. I'm going to look. Yes, I think this one is much better for a table setting. Now, we're not fancy at my house, so this works well for me. But if you have some pretty fancy plates and stuff, some nice plates and silverware. Okay, I'm going to switch to the other camera and rotate this camera away. I've always wanted some brown dishes. Martha Stewart uses them in her photos all the time. They look like they got like a turkey in the center, brown transferware or something. I'm like, oh, that's a dream, but I mean, I don't have any use for that. So, okay, I'm going to show you something I got in the mail today, right before. We're going to do an opening. Okay. I wanted to see, this is an advent calendar from a candy company, and I wanted to see how they made it. And I'm like, I can do that. I can do that thing. So anyway, let me figure out how to open it up. Do I slide this off? Yes. Oh, now I got it here. I'm gonna go back to the other camera so we can see this. Rotate it. These are chocolate candies. So I'm sliding this ribbon off. I have to be sure to save it. I don't know how it opens here. And I got this because I want to know how to make it and maybe, make a smaller version. But one thing I noticed is this is smaller than 12 inches, which means I can cut it out on my Cricut, something like it. I wouldn't copy it exactly. I just wanted to know the structure. It costs a fair amount of money. Oh, look. Isn't that adorable? And let's see. And there's a candy in each one. So I just wanted to understand the structure. Partly I wanted to see how the little drawers were put together. But isn't that beautiful? So, yeah. And you can see how something like this would be inspiring. Okay, switching. Oh, wait, let me put day number 6 up. Okay. All right, now I'm going to switch cameras again. Rotate this. I'm going to angle this forward a little bit so you can see a little better. So anyway, I think this structure is very easy. Wait, let me show you something. Okay, I made a little advent house. The structure of this house is just the same. It makes for a very sturdy house. You don't have a sharp peak that gets bent. So this kind of structure is a great idea. So anyway, this is, sometimes y'all ask, where do you get your inspiration? And, it's just whatever I see. But I just had to order this. Okay, and then I do have an advent calendar in my website. And I don't know the number. I'm sorry, I'm not good at getting the numbers. But these are very simple little houses that all fold flat. That's one advantage to them. So the roof opens up and they fold flat. So anyway, those are my little advent. I think I probably made them about 3 years ago. Okay, I'm going to scroll back and see if y'all have any questions for me. Oh, I am going to make a nutcracker. I'm going to do variations, but I wanted to do a nutcracker because a few years ago I made a little guardhouse for, it was actually a Tim Holtz figure, and I'm like, I can just do a simple nutcracker design, and so that it'll fit in the guardhouse, and it's very festive. So I thought that was a good project for Christmas. So that is coming. So much. Oh, Sonia's here late. Okay. Yeah, you couldn't. I saw, when I saw this house, it was on a compilation post where they show you all these advent calendars coming. And a lot of them were nice, but I'm like, oh my gosh, you give me a house? I'm like, yeah, that one would have been hard to ignore. Yes, and people have beautiful nutcracker designs, but I actually looked at some other people's designs, and I, I'm I can make it different enough that I think you'll really like it without it being, layered and sort of over embellished. I think it'll look like a real nutcracker. That's my goal. Craft with Sarah's event starts on November 12th. She makes beautiful layered designs, and I looked at her nutcracker, and it's really cool, but I just wanted to make sure the one I had in my mind was different enough that it was worth it. My sister asked me to make a red truck. The red trucks were very popular, but I looked at all those red trucks out there, and I'm like, I cannot make one better than these. I cannot. I would have to make a broken red truck, like a broken down red truck for it to kind of express my personality. So I'm like, I cannot do a red truck. But I do have an idea for a nutcracker. And next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. Excuse me, I have to cough. Allergies. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We'll do something fun. And maybe switch to Christmas. I have a lot of Christmas crafts that, I've got over 400 blog posts, and I want to, kind of introduce you to some that are in the background, that you may have never noticed, because you can't go through, 400 pages. Like, you go to sleep. Okay. All right. Let me see. Any other questions? Ben says, make a red truck. I'm not making a red truck. There are so many great red trucks out there. Jennifer Maker's got a great one. Dreaming Tree's beautiful. Sarah's got red truck, motifs mostly. Miss Mandy has a beautiful red truck. So, yeah, if you can Google red trucks and you will find a beautiful design. But, yeah. I may make something like a hearse for Halloween or something, but I'm not making the red truck. Yeah, I could do a broken down pickup on blocks. Yeah, that's more my style. And, we could have like something, funny figure standing around it. Yes, the mess level, that is me. So anyway, this was a quick one. So it always makes me a little sad when we only talk for a little period of time, because somebody invariably comes on late and they're like, oh, you're already done? Yeah, that one's this easy. Thanksgiving pumpkin place cards, but it's in, I'm trying to do sort of like a compilation post, so it's in the same post as the dancing turkey. You can see him behind me, and I haven't written the tutorial yet, so just mainly I noted that the pattern is 202. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate y'all being here. And I hope you have a good season and are kind of, going into the fall, winter season for us and, in the northern hemisphere. So y'all take care, and just have a good day. Oh, I'm sorry. Tiffany, when I see a question, I feel compelled to ask it. Miss Mandy is a designer on the web, and it's Mandee, Mandee, 2 E's. So some of her designs are free. She started doing some kind of in a membership model, but a lot of her designs are free, and some of them are really incredible. Yeah, designs by Miss Mandee. Okay, all righty, y'all. You take care, and I'll see you next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All righty, bye. I have to figure out what button to push. Bye.